Hello dear students, welcome to the fourth session of our chapter number 11, Data Types, Operators and Expression in a C language. In our session 3 we have discussed about the data type, that is the derived data type and the user defined data type, and we have discussed about the 8 types of operators. Now in this session we are going to move forward in this chapter. So let's just start it. So now today the first topic is evaluation of a expression. So here the operators we have discussed, that how to use the operators. Okay. So now with the help of operators, how we can make the expression, that we are going to see over here. So first you can see one expression here. So result we wants to calculate. So to calculate the result, here the expression is given first plus second multiply by third minus fourth. So now this type of expression we have. So here first multiplication of a second and third would be done. Okay, means which operator will perform first, which calculation we will do the first, that we will see here. So how we can solve the equation. Okay, so first we will do the multiplication of a second and third. Then after its value of multiplication would be then be added first. Okay, means after multiplication which operation we will perform? Addition. So whatever the value we got of a multiplication, that value we will add in the first variable, and then from this intermediate value fourth would be subtracted. Okay, so here then after from the first value the fourth value will be subtracted. So if two operators with the same priority appear in the expression, then they will be evaluated from the left to right. Means if two minus operations are there, suppose, or if two plus. Okay, so how we will give the priority to them? If the two same priority operations are there, then which operation will be performed first? That question will come. So here it's written, then we have to give the priority from the left to right. So now to modify this sequence we can make use of a brackets. So now we will solve the another expression that is written with the help of brackets. So let's just see the equation first. Okay, so here the result is there again, and here the result we wants to count. Okay, so here the expression is like first plus second multiply by in bracket third minus fourth divided by fifth, and then semicolon. This is our expression. So now how we will solve this equation? Which object or which equation we will solve the first? So whenever the brackets are there, so these brackets we have to resolve first. So here the third minus fourth will be evaluated first. We will check this one first. Okay, then after the result will be multiplied with the second, and then after division we will perform. Okay, means see the priority first. If bracket is there, then we have to resolve the bracket, then after multiplication. Okay, so then after whatever the value we got, that we will multiply with the second, then after we will do the division, that is with the fifth. Okay, so second whatever the value we got, that is divided by the fifth, and then after finally we will do the addition with the first. Okay, so here in the diagram you can see the priority. Okay, which priority you can see here? The first one is the bracket. Okay, then after bracket we will do that. After getting the answer we will do the multiplication of that value with the second, then after the second value we will divide that value with the fifth. Okay, that is the third one. Okay, then after the value we got, that we will add in the first variable. Okay, and then after we will got the result. So like this you can see the process is given, the priority process is given. So first bracket, then after multiplication, then after division, then after addition, and then after subtraction. Like this the bracket or the priority is given. So here the priority table is also there, that priority of operators, that is already decided by the programmers, that how to give the priority to the operators. Okay, so the operators mentioned so far have their own priorities. So here, as seen in the example result, the first plus second multiplied by third minus fourth divided by fifth. So multiply was at the higher priority than the plus, minus and division. Okay, so here you can say that the if any bracket is not there and just arithmetic operators are there, then first priority will be given to the multiplication sign, then after plus, then after minus, then after division sign, then after plus, and then minus. Like this the priority is given. So here the C language designers have pre-decided this priority. So the listing of the sum of the priority which is given in the table 11.9. So now we will see this priority table. So first you can see it is divided into 4 columns. So first operator is there, second column is the operation used for, then after associativity and precedence. So first here we will see that what is precedence. So in mathematics and in computer programming, the order of the operations is given. Okay, and it is a collection of rules that reflect the conventions about which procedure perform first in order to solve that given equation. Okay, so precedence means what? Order of a operation. Okay, so here the first order, the first preference is given to the brackets. Okay, now associativity means what? Okay, so here associativity means when the precedence, the group of operators that are coming in the same precedence, okay, means the group of operator that has the first priority, if they are coming together, okay, so which operator we will prefer first? So like this we have to decide the associativity. So based on the direction we can give them the priority. So like this the two columns that is unknown, that I have explained you what is the precedence and what is the associativity. So first priority is given to the operator, that is the function call, our round brackets. So here the associativity of that round bracket is from the left to right and the precedence is the first. Then after the same, in the same group, in the same precedence, another operator is coming, that is the square bracket, that is the array expression. The array expression also has the first precedence and that will also be evaluated from the left to right. Then after the next is the plus plus and minus minus, increment and decrement operator. This they have the second precedence, the order will be the second one, okay, in the operator priority list, and they will be associated in the right to left, from the right to left. Okay, then next operator is the size of operator, and it size of operator, and then after the multiplication. Okay, they are in the third precedence and the priority that will be, means associativity, that is from the left to right we will decide. And then after next in the fourth precedence comings, that is the modulo division, plus and minus, that is the binary addition and subtraction. These operators are coming at the 4th position in the order number 4. So here you can see that which are the operators are allocated in the first category, second category, third and fourth category according to the order. Okay, and how they will be evaluated if they all are in if in the equation they all are used, then how we will solve them. Okay, or which we will give the first priority, that we can decide from the associativity. So I hope you understood this priority of the operators. Then our next topic is the type conversion. So now first, what is type conversion? So an expression can be evaluated only if all the operands involved are of a same data type. Means any of the equation, if you wants to evaluate it, then the operands, okay, operands you are using, that should have the same data type. So this property of an expression that requires the internal conversion of a data types to be performed. Okay, so for example here given, that is if we have following code snipped. So here you can see the integer year is equals to 2. So one variable year is defined as an integer data type, and see the next statement, in that we have defined the three variables: principal, rate and interest. These three variables are of a float data type. Now we want to find out the interest rate, okay, based on the P, R and N. So the formula is interest is equals to principal multiplied by rate multiplied by year divided by 100. So then the evaluation of the expression shown above would be done as shown in the figure. So first we will see that figure, that how we can solve the equation. Okay, so always the first preference is given to the multiplication only, and as we have seen, the multiplication will has the associativity from the left to right. So first is given, that is principal multiplied by rate. Okay, then after the in the second step, whatever the value will get of the multiplication, the same value will multiply with the year. Okay, that is of a float data type, and then after that value will be divided by the 100. So at the last you will see the answer is coming in the float only. Okay, but here you have seen that the year data type was defined as a integer. Okay, but here the value means the answer will be converted into the float automatically. So at this stage the type conversion is required. So here you can see the year was defined as a integer, but here automatically that will be converted into the float. So when you are using this type of equation to solve your problem, then internal typecasting is required. So now we will see the program of that one, that how we can do the typecasting. Okay, so first you can see the program to illustrate the use of a typecast. So first you have to include our documentation, then after header file, that is stdio.h, then after integer main, our main function through which our program execution will begin. Then after our first variable, that is defined with the integer, that is total cost 575 and quantity, that is 24. So now cost item, the single means unit price we wants to find it out, the total cost we have and the quantity of product also we have. Now we wants to find out the unit price, what is the cost item. Okay, so how we can find it out, that is if we'll divide the total cost with its quantity, then we will get the unit price. Okay, so here you can see the integer, the total cost and quantity is written in the defined with the integer data type. So now first I am not doing any typecasting, but simply just I am printing the message. Okay, after doing the equation or after solving that problem. Okay, then after in the next statement, the C expression for calculating cost per item without typecasting. So now the cost item is equals to total cost divided by float quantity. You just see now here I have done the typecasting. So what is the formula or what is the syntax of a typecast? So in which data type you wants to convert that variable. So in bracket before your variable name you have to write it down that data type, and then after you just write it down your variable name or any constant value. So now here I wants to convert the quantity data type that is before defined as an integer. Now I want to cast the quantity variable into the float. That is why in the bracket I have written float, and then after I have written quantity. And now I will print the same cost item again. And now we will see the output, what is the result be after that one. So you can see if the item is without typecasting, then you can see the answer is coming in the integer form only. That is 575 divided by 24. That means the price is coming in the integer form, that is 23. But the actual value is 23.95. So that fractional part is not coming in the first one. Why? Because the typecasting was not done there and the data type was not similar. One was the integer data type and the next was the float data type. You can see over here. Okay, means in which form the our answer that we wants to print, that is of a float data type, but the equation we are using, that both the variables are of a integer data type. That is why in the second statement I have done the typecast. Okay, and then after the answer is coming like this. The answer is coming with the fractional part in the float value. So like this we have to do the typecasting some of the time, the internal casting, to get the proper answer. Then after the next is a storage class. Okay, so here the variable used in the C program are generally stored in the primary memory of the computer. Okay, means whenever we are declaring any variable in the C language, basically that will be stored into the primary memory of our computer. So it is also possible to store some variables in the register. So C language provides us 4 storage classes. How many storage classes C language provides? 4 storage classes. They are namely as a automatic storage class, external, register and static. So how many storage class we have? 4. First automatic, external, third register and fourth one is the static storage class. So these storage classes allows user to specify the location where they want to store the variable. So here based on the storage class, the user can decide that which type of variable they wants to declare or where they wants to store the variable in the memory. So let's now discuss all the 4 types of storage class in the detail. So first one is the automatic variables. Okay, means automatic storage class. So here whenever this is the default storage class of all the variables. Okay, so if any storage class is not defined by you when you are declaring the variable, then that will be defined as a automatic storage class. To explicitly define the variable as a automatic, we use the keyword auto. Means which keyword is used to define the variable as a automatic storage class, then the answer is the auto keyword. So here you can see the syntax that how we can define the variable with the automatic storage class. So first one, you have to use the keyword auto, then after your data type, in which you want to define your variable, and then after your variable name and semicolon. Now here for example, the definition auto, integer, number and semicolon. Here one variable is there, number variable of type integer, and we are storing this variable in the automatic storage class. So here it indicates the variable number is a type of integer and its storage class is a automatic. So such variables are created automatically when the function is called. Okay, means when you have declared this variable in your function, then when you will call the function, suppose if this variable is declared in our main function, so when the main function will begin its execution, at that time the variable will be created automatically. Okay, and when we will go to exit our function, when our function will return the control back to our calling function, then these variables are by default. Okay, so they will be destroyed. Okay, when we will move control back to our calling function, then the automatically these variables will be destroyed. And this variable can assign the garbage value even. What is the garbage value? Means the user has not provided value, but automatically the variables or the value will be stored in the variable. So these things can happen with the auto variable, automatic storage class. Okay, so here they are stored in the primary memory. So whenever you are declaring the variable as a auto storage class, then that will be stored into the primary memory. So this is about the automatic storage class. Then the next storage class is the external variable. So C language provides the modularity by creating the functions over here. Okay, so when the programmers are working with the function, and if they wants to share the one variable into many programs or into many functions, then they have to define the variable, or they have to store that variable into the external storage class. Okay, so here it is necessary though that the variable must be defined as a global variable in at least one program. So when you are defining the variable as an external storage class, and you are sharing these variables in one or many functions, then first in any one of the function you have to define this variable as a global variable. Now to define the variable as an external storage class, you have to use the keyword extern. EXTERN. Extern word you have to use, then after the data type and your variable name. So for example here, the extern character choice, okay, indicates the variable choice is a type of character and its storage class is a external. And the default value of external variable is 0. Remember here students, whenever you are defining any variable as an external data type, the by default value is 0 of that variable, and they are stored in the primary memory. Means the automatic variable are also stored in the primary memory, and this external variable also will be stored into the primary memory. Then after, the next third one is the register variables. If you want to access any variable very fastly in your program, then that variable you can store in the CPU register. So this C language provides us a storage class that called a register to store the variable in the CPU register. So here the following syntax you can see here, that how we can store the variable into the CPU register with the register storage class, and the keyword register is defined there. So first you have to use the keyword register, then after data type and your variable name. So here you can see that definition, that register integer counter. Example, that is register keyword integer is our data type and counter is our variable name, identifier name. So here the variable counter is of type integer and its storage class is a register. So the register class variables are assigned the garbage value by default. So whenever you are providing the variable as a register class, then they will assign the garbage value by default. Then after the last storage class is the static variables. So the static storage class when used along with the variable that makes the variable value permanent within the specific region. Means whenever any variable is defined as a static, then the value will remain as it is. The static storage class variable is stored permanently in the primary memory. So whenever the variable is declared by you as a static storage class, then that will be stored permanently into which memory? Into the primary memory by default, and it's assigned the value 0. So which variables assign the value 0? That is the external variable and static variables. Okay, then automatic variable can also assign the garbage value, and the register variable will also assign the garbage value. Then the syntax of this variable, the static word, you have to use keyword, then after data type and variable name. So here the example is that the static is our keyword, integer is our data type, and max is our variable name. So that indicates that the variable max is the type of integer and its the storage class is a static. So here we have discussed all the storage class that is provided by the C language. So I hope you understood this storage classes well, and now we are going to conclude our chapter number 11. So now we will discuss the summary, that what are the things we have discussed in this chapter. So first we have discussed the basic data type like integer, character, float and void. Then after we have discussed the user defined data type, that is enum and typedef. Then after we have discussed the derived data type like array. Array we have discussed, and then after 4 derived data types are there. There is array, structure, pointer and union. But this pointer, union and structure, this is out of the scope of this book, and we have discussed the array only in this chapter. Then operators in the C language, we have discussed that how many types of operators we have. 8 types of operators. So that we have discussed. Then after how to create expression and how to evaluate the expression using operator, and 4 storage classes we have discussed in this chapter. So I hope you understood this chapter number 11 well. Thank you students.